I want so much to be rescued. Mainly by men. So a trip to America to take a first look at how things could be done differently, I'm about to embark on a spiritual exploration of my own at a conference with Deepak Chopra, Sister Wendy, and Eckhart Tolle. Good evening. Can you all hear me in the back?
Yes.
Thank you. Welcome to the power of now. Now we have a moment and now we have another moment. Well, of course, I've written several books on this particular subject. I've written a book on Buddha and Jesus, parts 1, 2, and 3, which you can easily purchase for $24.95 plus tax. Books 2 and 3 on Buddha are a possibility if I could stretch the story out long enough. Those would also be available for $24.95 plus tax. Impermanence is a big factor of life. So, to understand that all life is impermanent at any given time. And as there is no time, what are we left with? Not much. Just the moment, as Eckhart mentioned, and well, that's it. But I explain much more in my videos, where I'm basically saying the same thing but in different ways, which you can easily purchase for $24.95 plus tax. Good evening, Sister Wendy here. Now, some of you may remember me from my PBS show and my love of art. Tonight, I'd like to share art and the spiritual experience. For me, a spiritual experience is when I cast my eyes over the exquisite outline of Michelangelo's David, the roundness of his superb buttocks, the sheer softness of his skin that I feel I could almost touch without touching. Then, of course, there is Bellini, Virgin in the Meadow, the bright blue of her gown, the vibrant colors, and one has to wonder, is that a dead baby in her lap? There are so many questions, as in Giorgiano's painting. Who is the soldier? Why is the woman naked? The colors and depiction of the world and universe is monumental. The courage of outspoken thoughts and visions that caress the blank canvas. The nakedness of the women who succumb to the painter's brushstrokes that leave them vulnerable. In the viewer's eye, all tell a tremendous story that lies hidden amongst characters, hills and dales, and of places that sweep the canvas with passion, pleasure, and death. I urge you, with your own canvas of life, to seize the colors of your palette, splash them together with the greatest of fervor. Let them blend and mingle with all the nakedness of your true spirit, that the story inside be regurgitated, thrown out onto the canvas and into the world with the brightness and fortitude of a palate fulfilled. Well, I have to say, Sister Wendy's ideas were much more up my alley. So, gathering up all that information, I returned to London. Now, at this point, Mother was getting rather concerned about my marital situation and becoming a good housewife. I mean, she wanted me to come home for the weekend to learn how to run a house. Well, needless to say, I was not enthusiastic. Well, Lisanne, what about me? Don't you think I'd like some time off? My parents had tried before to shape me into some sort of eligible housewife, and they'd sent me to a domestic science college where I was to learn how to iron men's underwear. It did not go well. It was also to obtain and establish and obtain cooking and cleaning skills and, well, therefore be a somewhat good catch for any suitable young man who required those skills. A finishing school, if you will. It finished me off completely. Not a walking upright position. Now, Mother was still living a tad bit in the Victorian era. She'd been through the war, and her own sense of self had not been allowed. So therefore, she was desperately trying to keep me bound. But here I am in London, totally independent, learning more about life, having more spiritual awakenings, and I discover disco! Oh, love to love you, baby. Oh, love to love you, baby. I become a DJ, and I travel the pond to the biggest nightclub in Montreal I've ever seen. We even had a raid by the police. I'm terrified, so I call my family. My father answers the phone. Lisanne! Hello! What? Oh, come along now. Stiff upper lip. Here's your mother. We had pimps and hookers and protectors in the club. Alcohol is becoming very helpful. One of them comes up to me. Hey, how come you not play Joey Spinetti's new record? Oh, I'm so sorry. It's now or never. Come hold me tight. Kiss me, my darling. Be mine tonight. The disco floor is clearing. Then on to Greece, to a Greek cruise ship. Oh my, I'm thinking, all those delicious, gorgeous gods dressed in white uniforms, disguised as officers. They weren't. Then to London. A man is a private club, by the way. A man in a pinstripe suit approaches, makes a request. Yes! Gosh, that's never going to fit into my routine. So sorry. He's not pleased. The following week, he's back. You, yeah! I wish you wouldn't have done that. I wasn't supposed to have been here last week. Oops. Then to Spain, to work for a Formula One racing car driver. His name was James Hunt. They made a film about him called Rush, and it was. I was boogieing to the beat, vinyl in one hand, alcohol in the other. Woo! Nightlife, I'm finding, has a very different underworld. One could hide out in the shadows. Alcohol at this point is absorbing anything that might have represented any kind of intelligence.